Hey everybody, so today we are making what I like to call a plop pour. And a plop pour means that you get your batter to a medium to thick trace and you plop it in your mold. And I'm making this soap because I was inspired by a ring that my grandmother, it was passed down to me from my grandmother. And it's a turquoise ring. And I just love the look of the ring. And I've paired it with a scent that I've custom blended I call Piñon Pine. And it's a blend of a few different fragrances, like a vanilla, which I will use with the cocoa powder because it discolors, and a pine fragrance and a piñon essential oil. Now, if you aren't familiar with piñon, it's a type of pine tree that's found in the Southwest. And it has quite a distinct smell, which is beautiful. So I'm just going to blend us up here, get us going. I am doing, I think, 4 colors here. I'm doing a natural, no color, a white, that's the white, the natural, a brown, which I'm using cocoa powder, and 2 different tones of blue, like a turquoise type blue. And then in between my plops, I will be doing some mica line work with activated charcoal and gold mica. So I'm going to split off my batter, and I love these oversized buckets for pouring because the spout works quite nicely without any spills. The bowl I was using, I just couldn't get it to pour without spills, so I have switched for the most part. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to be putting a little bit of batter in my dispersed mica just to get it nice and fluid and as much out of the cup as I can. And this is my first blue color and the largest portion of my batter. The micas are from Mad Micas, but I did custom blend to get the color I was looking for, which in my first batch of this soap, which has now become a very good seller for me. People not only enjoy the design, but the scent is quite amazing. I used more of a blue, and I changed it to lean a little bit more green to match the ring that I have. So I believe I am blending maybe a little bit off camera my other colors. There we go. This one is ever so slightly different, just to give a little bit of tonal texture in the soap. And you'll see that I get these to like a pretty thick trace. Now I'm doing my cocoa powder, and this one I'll definitely need to blend with the stick blender to get it all incorporated. You can disperse your cocoa powder ahead of time. I just wanted to make sure I got the correct depth of color. So I will stick blend it and get all of the cocoa powder dispersed in there. If you stuck around this long, I gotta thank you. It is so much fun to make soap. If you've never made it, find somewhere that teaches it, or a friend, or just venture into it on your own. It's really relaxing. Okay, now I'm just putting my fragrance into each separated portion. Most of the time I will weigh out each portion, but I kind of know, because I've made this before, how much in for each will work. So now it's just a waiting game until our batter thickens. So I'm gonna speed us up a little bit. Okay, so now we are finally getting our soap in the mold, and you'll see, because of the thickness, it goes in kind of like plops, hence the name. But you have to trust the process on this one. It's an unusual type of pour, but the result is so great. So I just kind of alternate where I'm putting like the large clumps of soap batter, and I alternate each color. I don't want them even at all. I do want them to be pushed down through the process a little bit, so there's don't get too many air pockets, although you will get some, and that's okay for this design, because this design, after the ring that I have, their rocks and minerals are not perfect, and they have little crevices in them, so I'm okay if there's any air pockets. Okay, so they have a layer down, and now I'm putting some gold mica. This is a similar technique to some people videos that I've seen out there doing for marble, and if you did this with just black, white, and gray, it would give you that Carrara marble type look. You can do this with any color combination and any mica line as well. So I just continue to put alternating colors. There is no rhyme or reason, really. It's more like painting on a canvas and creating and just using your imagination, which is why I love soaping so much. It's a creative process when you do something like this type of pour, and there's no right or wrong. Each time you make it, it will be completely different. So this time I'm putting an activated charcoal line, and you don't have to necessarily cover the entire thing. If you've never used activated charcoal before, it is messy, so you don't have to use a lot. So that's it. So you continue to do layers of different plops of color and mica and activated charcoal and color until you build your entire painting artwork in soap. I'm going to stop talking for a minute and let you watch. Okay, so now I'm at the point where I'm just giving a slight texture to the top, not necessarily anything uniform. This is probably the messiest I've ever soaped, but that's okay. Gotta get messy sometimes. So, yeah, I'm just creating like a little bit of peaks and divots because I'll be adding some sprinkle of gold mica on the top. Right now I'm just trying to clean up the edges of my mold. Okay, now we're going to add our final bit of mica on the top. And I don't cover it. It's just a sprinkle. Make sure there's like a little sprinkle that would fall on each bar. And that is it. Now I'm going to clean up and we'll come back when we're ready to cut. I do put this in the oven for an oven process or CPOP to force gel. That way my colors are more vibrant. Okay, here we are. So at first it will look like a hot mess, but trust the process. And what do you see inside? That's just the end piece. I feel like they get better and better. I won't bore you with cutting the entire thing, but I'll show you a few pieces. So how pretty does that look? And the beauty of this type of bar is that every single bar is completely different. And I love that. So there's a little bit of air pockets on the sides. I'm okay with that. I might plane these sides anyway, just to get a little bit off, to get the mica off and the charcoal off the sides. I'll plane them anyway. But look at that. I'll show you one more here and then I'll just speed it up because the lighting is getting later in the day. By the way, did I tell you that I am able to cut my soap on the same day with my recipe? Beautiful. So it's Piñon pine. It's supposed to look like turquoise. My interpretation anyway. And I'll speed this up and then we'll show you a little bit closer. So I'm showing you a close-up of the top. You can see how beautiful that looks. The inside, the veining, it just came out beautifully. Again, you can try this with any color combinations. Now I am just planing the edges off because some mica was pushed towards the edge and charcoal, and it tends to not absorb in as well to the soap on the edges. And here's just a look at the final bars. Thank you for watching.